Hey everybody, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. Um, let's look at Nvidia. Now, the company absolutely smoked earnings in like every way. They raised guidance. They said, "Yeah, we're pretty good about that $1 trillion revenue contrast, excuse me, forecast for Blackwell and Rubin chips from 2025, which is in the past, and calendar year 2027. So, where I come from, which is a small town in the San Joaquin Valley, $1 trillion is a lot of money. So, I think that's pretty good. Uh, Nvidia, $80 billion buyback. They also jacked their dividend up. They're saying that things look so bright, they're going to have to get welding goggles and issue those to everybody who's running a GPU. So, all in all, the quarter was awesome. Now, this is where the stock was at the end of the day. All right, so we can look intraday. You see it was kind of just chopping around here. Now, let's look at the after hours. Okay. Looks like it moved quite a bit, but actually it ran up only 1.3 to the upside. And then, well, at one point, there's always some greater fool here that's going to sell right at the bottom that fell 3.5%. But like from top, it hits the top here all the way down to the bottom going forward. It's 3.4%. So it just wasn't a big move. So I think this ultimately gave the market about what it was expecting. I had mentioned a couple days ago, maybe it was just yesterday, that I liked the fact that Nvidia has traded down for a few days, like 3 days in a row. This was Friday, and then continuation on Monday, and Tuesday looked like what could have been and turned out to be a little bit of a snapback here because it's kind of like the pressure valve was released. And so that gives NVIDIA, in my mind, I mean, there's no way their quarter was not awesome. So sadly, you're not going to get a chance to buy NVIDIA down at 200 or down here. Hate to break it to you, it's not going to happen. Whether the stock runs up to new highs, frankly, I kind of doubt that either, because otherwise we would see bigger moves after hours. I think you're going to see the stock stay within this trading range for a while. Now, for me, that's okay because I'm actually teaching a class tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern on trading the opening rotation with my 59 minuteers. And so I don't mind these easy days because if a stock's wild, it's up a lot or it's down a lot. Oh my God, the volatility, sell, buy, sell, that kind of stuff. You can make really, really good money, but a lot of times that's really hard money, really tough money to make. But when a stock is trading in a little more of a docile nature, then it can be easy to ride these trends. It's like it gets really easy because you can see the direction that the stock's going. Nobody's running around with their hair on fire. And you can say, oh, okay, I'll add a little bit more here. Hope I get to add a little bit more here. Oh, well, maybe I'll sell a little bit here and book some profits. I mean, it's that type of thing. It's really orderly the way you can trade. And so we're going to be doing that tomorrow morning. You're certainly welcome to join me. If you want, you can just go to the home page and you can see how to sign up for that. I'll just show you that here. It's on the home page. You just go here, click that, you get taken to the deal. So anyway, that's my sales pitch for that. So be careful about trading NVIDIA and thinking that you're just going to be, it's going to scream or it's going to dive, something like that. It's not going to do either one. I think it's just going to stay within a tradable range. Okay, so that's all I got for you. If you have not signed up for Stock Market Mentor, it's $7 for 14 days. I think that amounts last time I mean, I did okay in math. I think that's like 50 cents a day. And if you you can't justify 50 cents, then you're probably not our guy anyway. Okay. That's all I got. I will see you guys next time.